Welcome YouTube and all subsequent social media lands. Welcome to an all new video. In this video we're going to be doing a movie review of a new film that just came out this past Friday. It is the fourth film of a great franchise, or rebooted franchise to say, of a great film franchise that started back in 1968. So we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as X, Patreon, Twitter, which is X, which I don't know why I said it again, but if you don't remember that it's called X, it's called Twitter. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, pretty much any place that they post something socially, I'm pretty much there, so definitely check that out. As always people, let's get right into this. One and all to an all new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be doing a movie review of a new film that just came out this past Friday, and is a fourth film in a great reboot franchise of a great franchise that started back in 1968 called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, yeah. So this is the fourth film in this great reboot franchise that started back in 2011 with Rise, and of course Dawn and then War. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is a phenomenal film. I was so blown away by the magic of this film. Simply the fact that how amazing they are getting at recreating what gorillas, orangutans, chimpanzees, any part of the ape family, how they react and move and all that kind of stuff is just freaking phenomenal how they present it and how accurate and real looking it looks. If, you know, these creatures or these animals had a higher intelligent function similar to humans. And it just blows my mind at how good they are at doing this and how they've evolved from, the first one back in 2011 up to this point, and how amazing the cinematography, the CGI work, the animation, all is working out and just is so well done, and it's really enjoyable. And this film is just another great addition to this great franchise already that just really capitalizes on how fun and how enjoyable these characters are, and how you fall in love with these characters too, and just like you would a human character. It blows my mind at how that same feeling comes across because of how great the actors are at portraying these characters through motion capture. It just, you feel like you're watching humans even though that they're being portrayed on the screen as apes. It's really phenomenal what they've done with these films, and Kingdom is just as good as the rest. It is even the best, I think. Honestly, I think Kingdom is now my favorite of the series so far, and it is just really amazing, and I love everything they did with this film and how they took it to a whole new level and with a whole new group of apes that are supposed to be several generations removed from Caesar. Now, if you're not familiar with the Planet of the Apes franchise, like I said, this is the fourth film, and we are now 300 years since Caesar, sacrificed himself for the ape mankind. And, this film takes place that many years later. The world has really changed in the last 300 years, and how, different, humans have become, and how different the apes have become, and all that kind of stuff. And they really enveloped that very well in this film. I really enjoyed this film, and I thought they just did a really great job with it, giving us a really well-rounded film that was super enjoyable, great special effects, great acting, and just overall a really fun film. Now, this film is none other directed by a great director who has directed a lot of great films over the years that just has a really great knack for action adventure type of films, but also and very non-realistic, futuristic worlds and stuff like that. And he just has a really good eye for that kind of like sci-fi element. And that, of course, is Mr. Wes Ball. Oh yeah, Wes Ball, woo, Wes Ball, yeah. Wes Ball is such a great director. I have enjoyed pretty much anything he's directed, and he has a really great knack for this type of genre and just really always brings it really well to life and gives us really solid films. Now, if you haven't seen Wes Ball direct anything recently, you should definitely check out a great film that he directed a few years ago, or franchise, I should say, he directed, and it's based off of a great book series called The Maze Runner series. Yeah! The Maze Runner series, yeah! He did a phenomenal job with those films, and you could see it ooze through into the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, because that same kind of feel of how the Maze Runner was, that, you know, post-apocalyptic world because of something that happened, same exact thing like within the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, or the Planet of the Apes, you know, world. And it had that same exact feel, and, you know, Wes Ball knew exactly what to do, and what to do to helmet from Matt Reeves and bring such a great new addition to this franchise. And with the Maze Runners, that's what he did too, as well, as he gave us a really solid 3 films that were super enjoyable, super entertaining, and had great visual effects, great story, and really capitalized on the books, and, you know, took them to a whole new level. And the cast, of course, did a phenomenal job too, as well. And the directing by, you know, Wes, he did such a great job of bringing that and getting that out of those actors and actresses, giving us a really fantastic film series that just really, you know, uttered Wes Ball's directing and how fantastic he is as a director. He had really great ideas on the visuals, on the set designs, and where to visualize what he wanted to do with that book series too, as well, in the Maze Runners. That was, I think, really high level, you know, execution by him in the directing chair. If you haven't seen anything Wes Ball has directed, definitely check out the Maze Runner series. He did a really fantastic job with him. But when it comes to the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, once again, like I said, he just really added a great new addition and a film to this already great franchise. That just was, it did not feel like it was different than the other ones. It did not feel like it wasn't a part of them. It all flowed so well. Especially now that he's the 3rd director to film one of these Planet of the Apes films as well. You know, between Rupert Wyatt and then, of course, Matt Reeves. He still had that same feel and element as the previous 3 films that felt the same and made it what made those films so enjoyable. And I think, you know, Wes did a great job of bringing that and giving us that just a great new addition. If you haven't seen anything Wes Ball has directed, definitely go check out Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in theaters now. He did a really fantastic job. So this film has a really amazing cast that are pretty much all new actors and actresses that portrayed the different apes and different people throughout the film, and is a whole new set of people to, you know, basically push forward ahead the story as we're versus the last 3 films. And so these actors and actresses all did a great job, and I really enjoyed what they brought to the film. And I think they all did a great job being just as amazing as the previous people that brought to life those other characters as well. So to start us off is kind of the main new ape himself, Noah, played by the amazing Mr. Owen Teague. Oh yeah, Owen Teague, woo, Owen Teague, yeah, Owen Teague, yeah. So Owen Teague is a really fantastic, I think, actor. He hasn't done a whole bunch over the last, you know, decade or so, but has been in a few things and has really set a name for himself and really has grown and shown that he's a decent actor. And I think what he brought to Noah in the film was very much what Caesar was like. And I think he's not as good as Andy was, but definitely Owen has a lot to grow on, and I feel he has a lot of great potential to bring Noah up to Caesar's 100% level, as good as Andy Serkis had done. But I really enjoyed what Owen brought to Noah's character. I liked that he was very similar to Caesar, and how he was, you know, the same kind of like very naive ape kind of character, but at the same time he grew throughout the film and learned from his mistakes and learned from what people told him, what other apes said, and all this kind of stuff. And that he really, you know, by the end had become kind of like a post-Caesar, you know, master or king over the, you know, domain of the apes, like he did become at the end of Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And I think that Owen did a great job of portraying that and giving us a really well-rounded performance that I just really enjoyed, and thought that he did a really good job and gave us a really great new leader ape to look forward to in the future for future films. Just really enjoyed what he brought. Now, if you haven't seen Owen Teague in anything before, definitely check him out in a great couple of films that are Part 1 and Part 2 films that is based off of a great Stephen King novel called The It films. It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2. Yeah! So he plays a same character in both films, of the older aspect of children in the film that were more towards adulthood. And his character he plays in the films were really kind of like evil character, and was just kind of like, really well done. He really showed that he had a really good evil streak in him, and that he could play a really good bad guy. And I enjoyed what he brought to these films, and I thought that was some genuine look for the future, more movies from him, because how successful he was in It Chapter 1 and 2. And I just really enjoyed what he brought to that and how he did it, and I thought that he was a really great character in these two It films. And I think that Owen just was, really kind of coming to his own and showing that, yeah, I do have some acting chops, and looking forward to seeing that evolve. And as I saw in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, he evolved from the It films and has become a decent, and even better actor than he was when we first saw him. Great acting chops on him at this beginning, and really showing that he has a lot of potential. And I thought it really showed how good and how fun he can be as an actor. If you haven't seen Owen take anything, definitely check him out in the two It films. He did a really fantastic job. But overall, I really enjoyed his Noah. I thought he did a great job with the character, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that in the future Planet of the Apes films, and just what he brings to it and how he evolves, just like Andy Serkis did with Caesar. If you haven't seen Noah or Mr. Owen take anything, definitely go check him out in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes now as Noah. He did a really phenomenal job. So that brings me to the next person I like to talk about in this film, and that is the female actress or female kind of good guy in the film, or kind of on her own side, but at the same time kind of helping out the apes at the same time type of deal. Character in the film that plays the kind of the main human of the film, and that of course is Miss Freya Allen. Oh yeah, Freya Allen, woo, Freya Allen, yeah. So Freya Allen, who is an up-and-coming actress who, started out, when she was like a teenager, youngerish girl, and has, been around for the last few years or so, and stuff like that, has really grown and done a lot of different things, done a TV series and some other movies and stuff like that. And she has become kind of a rising star, and I think that she did a great job playing her character May in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I really enjoyed her. I really appreciated what she brought to the character. I like that we had kind of this different kind of approach as a main antagonist human character in the film series, whereas like in the first, if you think about it, the first three films, it was very much, we had the very male, kind of characters. We had James Franco and Rise, we had Jason Clarke and Dawn, and then in War of the Planet of the Apes we had the new Nova character that was introduced, and having kind of another Nova type of character played by Freya, whose name is actually May. She did a really great job of portraying that character and becoming this kind of side ally to the apes, but at the same time having her own agenda at the same time. And I just thought Freya did a really good job of portraying both those sides and doing a really fun job with that. And I thought that she was a really great addition to the cast. Now, if you haven't seen Freya in anything, you should definitely check her out in another film that she did a few years back. She portrays a younger version of Karen Gillan. Of course, Karen Gillan we all know as Nebula from the MCU, in a film that she did a few years back called Gunpowder Milkshake. Yeah! Gunpowder Milkshake. Yeah! This is a really fantastic film, and she actually plays a younger version of Karen Gillan's character in the film, and I thought she did a really great job portraying that younger version of her. She had the exact look, she had the great mannerisms down, and she just overall, I thought, did a really good job of portraying Karen in a younger version, and just was really enjoyable. And I just thought that she did a really good job in the film, and was a decent performance that was notable to talk about later on. And I just really enjoyed what she brought to it, and I thought that she was a good addition to that film. If you haven't seen Freya anything, definitely check her out in Gunpowder Milkshake. She did a really great job. But overall, I really enjoyed her character in the film. I thought she did a good job, and I thought she was a really great addition to the film, and gave us really great entertaining value. If you haven't seen Freya anything, definitely go check her out in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Alan Peters. She was fantastic. So that brings me to the final actor I like to talk about that was in this film, and that of course is a great character that's in the film that's introduced for the first time, that is a orangutan, who is my absolute favorite character in the film. And that, of course, is played by Mr. Peter McCraw. Oh yeah, Peter McCraw, woo, Peter McCraw, yeah! So Peter McCraw is a great actor. He's been around for quite a few years, has done quite a few things over the years, little bit parts and stuff like that. He's one of those great character actors, and he's just really, really fantastic and always enjoyable to watch. And I think that Peter has a really great eye on being character actors. He really does, because he can play all different types. I mean, he can play comical, he can play serious, he can play horror, he can play pretty much all of them, and all very smoothly too as well. And I think he has a really good knack of what to do to portray these different characters, and his characters being very different in each film and show that he's been in. And I enjoy that. I think that he does a good job with that, and that it doesn't feel very, very similar, his characters, and I think that's a really good trait. Now, Peter is, like I said, a great actor, I think, and doesn't get enough credit for how fun he is. But overall, one of my favorite things of his that he's been in is a great TV show that's kind of based off of Star Trek and is brought to us by Seth MacFarlane, called The Orville. Yeah! The Orville, yeah! He plays Bortus in The Orville show in the last 3 seasons, and he is absolutely freaking awesome as Bortus. His characterization of that character is absolutely hilarious. His voice is awesome. I love the sound of his voice, and he just plays that character so well. And he's so awesome as the character, very deadpan. At the same time, he can have silly moments and that are just fun. And I just think that he's really fantastic as Brodus, and really shows a great talent, especially because he's behind so much, prosthetics and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, he, portrays it so well, and you visually see it very well too. And I think that Peter does a great job portraying Boris in this, and is one of my favorites of his of all time. If you haven't seen Peter McCraw or anything, definitely check him out in Orville. He is super fantastic as that character. But overall, absolutely loved his character in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. He was so phenomenal as that character. He almost sounded very Lawrence Fishburne sounding, like in The Matrix. He sounded very similar to him as his character in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And at the same time, you just absolutely fall in love with his character and how much he brings that character to life and gives you this really fantastic characterization of this orangutan that you just absolutely fall in love with. And his outcome in the film, you're just kind of saddened by. But at the same time, you just absolutely love that you got to see him for the extended time you did get to see him. And it just overall was a really fantastically done portrayal by Peter, and so fun. If you haven't seen Peter McCraw or anything, definitely check out his performance in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. He was absolutely phenomenal. So what is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes about? Basically, it has now been 3 generations since Caesar's death, and a new clan of apes basically is trying to rule over the kingdom, basically, and have created their own kingdom, and are trying to basically, break into this human vault to get human technology to advance themselves even more. And basically, in the process of this, one of the main characters, his clan gets stuck into this, and it's up to him to save his clan and to basically help out his newfound friend, May, who happens to be a human that can speak still. It's a fantastic film, really well done, amazing, absolutely fantastic, absolutely love it. It's a great addition to the awesome Planet of the Apes franchise. Well directed, the visuals are amazing, the cinematography was amazing, the music, everything of this film was so well done, and such a great film, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again eventually, and it was just so amazing. If you have not seen it yet, highly recommend go see it in theaters now. Giant 10 Goldie movie boxes up. Can't wait to add it to the collection. It is just a really fantastic film. Amazing, visually beautiful, and just so good. Haven't seen it? Check it out now in theaters. Worth the watch. So that's it for this movie, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been before, don't forget to check out the older new videos you might not see mine yet. As always, people, if you want to show support for the channel, definitely check out my awesome Patreon page where you get all kinds of extra accoutrement you don't get here on my YouTube channel, from outtakes, bloopers, suggesting what I do next, or even a monthly poll where you get to pick the next movie I review and all that kind of good stuff, definitely check that out. It helps out the channel. You guys are rocking it. Just a huge shout out to my new and old followers. You guys are rocking it too. As always, catch you next one.